You are watching the series of The Beginner's Guide to Scotch Whisky. If you missed the previous episodes, you can follow up in the links in the description below to watch the previous videos. Once again, if you like my content, please hit the subscribe button to support my YouTube channel. Welcome to episode number 5 of The Beginner's Guide to Scotch Whisky. Do you notice all these bottles in front of me have one thing in common? Of course, they are all whiskies. Actually, there are two bottles that are more similar to brandy. Alright, the truth is that there are whiskies that were matured not just only inside a bourbon or a sherry cask. If you have watched my previous videos of The Beginner's Guide to Scotch Whisky, you will learn that most Scotch whiskies use either bourbon cask or sherry cask to mature their whiskey. But in this episode, we are going to talk about other types of casks that are being used by the distillers. Between 40 to 70% of the character of a malt whiskey develops during the aging process with the type of cask used, contributing a specific range of flavors. Casks previously used to age bourbon and sherries are the standard choice, but a growing range of other cask types are also being used, which contribute their own individual range of flavors to the resulting malt whiskey. In the past, various wines and spirits were shipped in casks to Scotland and bottled locally, providing a ready supply of empty casks that malt whiskey distillers could make use of. Examples of these casks are great brandy, including Armagnac, cognac, rum, red wine, white wine, and beer. The master blender Brian Kinsman from Wayland Grant & Son once said, "It's about using a right cask for the right amount of time." Using poor casks for a short period makes a subtle contribution to the Bourbon port wood aged 21 years. Poor casks add fruity, berry sweetness to the Bourbon, which is already rich and fruity, so it's more a case of fine-tuning, not a transformative influence. David Turner, distillery manager at Balmore Distillery, said, "We use Bordeaux red wine casks for shorter finishing periods and also for full maturation of Balmore. We monitor the casks every 3 months to see how they were progressing, with red fruit notes and berry coming through from the Bordeaux cask after about 10 months to 1 year. These red fruit flavors continue to get stronger. Balmore finished in Bordeaux casks retain more of classic Balmore character, which include vanilla, fruit, honey, and coconut, with a good hint of peat smoke. Balmore fully matured in Bordeaux cask shows stronger red fruit notes, red grapes, red berries, with a hint of peat smoke at the end of the palate. Because full maturation inside the wine cask developed a strong flavor to the whiskey, and the resulting characters of the whiskey may not be the ones that represent the distillery. Therefore, most Scotch distillers prefer to use broad range of cask types as secondary maturation, or known as finishing. The process is to further develop the flavor profile produced by the primary maturation in bourbon and sherry cask. Scotch distillers continue to set out every year to try out new cask types. That is a very active part of their business. Whether it's new source of cask types they have used before, or other cask types to create brand new things. When trying a type of cask they haven't used before, they will most likely use a 10 to 12 years old whiskey, which has acquired less influence from the primary cask than an older whiskey. As this enables you to see the effect of the secondary cask more clearly. Thank you for watching this episode number 5 on other type of casks. And in the next episode, I will talk about the 6 regions of Scotch whisky distillery. Cheers!